With the fourth pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Tennessee Titans select Carnell Tate, wide receiver, Ohio State.
You know, Bucky, you were touting your mock draft. You said you're 2 for 2. Did you have Love at 3?
I did not.
Okay, did you have Tate at 4?
It depends, because I had 2 different mock drafts, but I did not have Carnell Tate at 4. However, this is interesting, right? It's an interesting pick because there was conversation the entire time about him being the weapon that the Tennessee Titans need. Have a number 1 receiver that can grow with Cam Ward. And you just wonder, I wondered about Carnell Tate in terms of like, he's as polished as they come, outstanding route runner, big time acrobatic pass catcher, hand-eye coordination is off the charts. The polish on the routes, fantastic. He made a ton of plays and got better and better over time. And I know I saw the comp down there, Chris Olave, but when I see him, I see that 17, and I think about Devontae Adams in terms of the way Devontae Adams ran, and you think about that 4.5 40 time. He just runs by a lot of people on tape.
Yeah.
Outstanding playmaker, pass catcher. He can do it as a 3-level playmaker, short, intermediate, and deep. Tennessee Titans are getting it going.
You know, I think too much was made of the 40 time initially after the combine. And ultimately, when you watch his tape, look, yes, he plays next to a monster in Jeremiah Smith. I mean, he plays next to an absolute monster that we're going to talk about, you know, in a draft coming soon. But Carnell Tate, even though he's a wide receiver too, he doesn't drop the ball. He's got great hands. He runs great routes. He has complete body control, not only through his routes, but also when the ball's in the air. So he's a very reliable target. He's someone that you want to give Cam Ward, someone that he can grow with. And the same way Aaron Rodgers had Devontae Adams, and they became close on and off the field. You want that same thing developing with your young quarterback and one of his top receivers. And I think, you know, that's what you want out of Carnell Tate. Listen, wide receivers.
With the 5th overall pick of the 2026 NFL Draft, the New York Football Giants select Arvell Reese, linebacker from the Ohio State University.
So many of the mock drafts on NFL.com had him going to New York. It was just the other team, the Jets. Instead, he is now a member of the Giants, filling a potential need on that defense as well. But you guys have been telling me on Mock Draft Live, upside, upside, upside for this player.
He's my top-rated player on the board, but it's based on projection. But I like my chances with his projection. He's got length. He's got speed. He's got versatility. He's got a lot of what you need to become a really good NFL player and a really impactful NFL player. He can play off-ball linebacker. It'll be interesting to see if the Giants have him do that some. His instincts, I think, are average right now, but he's got the ability to use his athletic ability to play past his instincts. You see this. He's already got some knockback pop. You saw him with a little dip and run there as a pass rusher. He doesn't even really know how to rush yet, and he can still go get the quarterback. And Bucky, what I really like is you can set him loose in a lot of different alignments.
With the 7th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Washington Commanders select Sonny Styles, linebacker, Ohio State.
The linebacker leading a national championship team with 82 tackles. You go back to the combine, among the linebackers, fastest 40, best vert, longest broad jump, and it seems like, Bucky, your intel was spot on this guy.
No, this is what they did. They had an obvious need, right? Bobby Wagner near the end of the run. You have Dan Quinn, who's looking at Sonny Styles and the athleticism and all the things that he brings to the table. He's excited about it. And when we think about him, I made a comparison, a mix of Fred Warner and Kyle Hamilton in terms of a guy that can play the safety, move down the linebacker, and just be a freak athlete in the middle of that defense. When you look at the Washington Commanders, man, they need some sizzle inside. Somebody that can make some plays, and Sonny Styles certainly can provide that. There you see him coming downhill, making play after play, getting off blocks, getting to the ball, being able just to be a menace at the second level. Sonny Styles has a lot of tools that you want in a new school defense. Just being able to move around and do some different things. Dan Quinn now can get creative with the scheme.
Yeah, I think he's just scratching the surface too, because he's moved from safety to linebacker. When you watch him on tape, you don't always feel like you're getting everything that he has, but I think that also comes with still learning the position and learning to unlock the entire toolbox. I mean, it's like a cake, right? You got all the ingredients on the table. You just want to bake it with him, because once those ingredients get added together and matched together, you've got a 3-down menace in Sonny Styles. And this is a guy with traits. He's got explosiveness athletically, and then he's got the ability to mismatch you on third downs. It's always nice to have a player that you can.
With the 11th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Dallas Cowboys select Caleb Downs, defensive back, Ohio State.
You know, a lot of times in the evaluation process, you guys have conversations with different folks. You get eyes on the tape. You write up your reports here. I don't know if I heard or read many negative things about Caleb Downs. I mean, the amount of praise that this safety has gotten, Bucky, is pretty tremendous. So you can understand why the Dallas Cowboys decided to move up to go and grab him.
Okay, so what I love about this is, in this process, which is really a beauty pageant, at some point you got to take really good football players. And Caleb Downs is an outstanding football player, and I contend that he was the best football player that Ohio State had on their squad. High IQ player, versatile in terms of being able to do anything you want to see the safety do. Patrolling the middle, making plays, coming downhill, delivering the big hit. He can do all of those things. But it's also his ability to come down and be a run stopper, line everybody up and do those things. And I think it has been underestimated and not discussed enough. This guy was the defensive quarterback of a defense in Alabama that Nick Saban handpicked him as a freshman and gave him the keys. Then he goes to Ohio State. Matt Patricia, who's been an NFL defense coordinator, head coach, puts it all on him. I am telling you, he is going to be a much better pro than people have talked about, because he is an instinctive player who is always around the action.
He's a high football IQ player. Bucky mentioned Nick Saban and Matt Patricia. That's, those are great to learn from. For one guy to handpick you, for the next guy to help mold you and shape you.
With the 36th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Houston Texans select Kaden McDonald, defensive tackle, Ohio State.
Lance, you called it before it happened, and you were exactly right.
Well, as soon as I saw him trade, I mean, Nick loves doing this. It was just a matter of which defensive tackle was it going to be, Kristen Miller, Kaden McDonald. My highest rated is Kaden McDonald across the board, and it's real simple. He's just 21, just turned 21 years old. You can see the tears and the tears of joy. This is just the beginning. Now we got to get down to work, but very happy. He goes to a great spot. I mean, just an absolutely great spot with D'Amico Ryans, with Rod Wright, formerly a University of Texas defensive lineman, who's now the defensive line coach. They've got some warriors there in the trenches for him to learn from. And he's only 21. He just turned 21. And I think the maturity level that the maturity he's going to have around him is going to help him grow up and become a pro really, really quickly. I think that's something very underrated about this Texans defense, too, is the leadership there.
You talk about the leadership. How about the maturity? Had a disappointing night last night. He's back in the green room, doesn't hear his name called, but comes back the next day, shows up. And I'm going to say this, and I see it because I see the Texans twice a year when I'm in Jacksonville. This defense they have down in Houston is absolutely salty. And he has that mentality that fits in. And you put this big fella inside of William Anderson Jr., you have Daniil Hunter, you have Azeez El-Shahir. I mean, they're a bunch of dogs.
Yeah.
And he fits in, and I've just seen guys, players surrounded by those guys. They go to a different level. This is a great pick for the Houston Texans.
You're expected on that defense to play hard every single snap. He's a rotational defensive lineman now, right? So Sheldon Rankins, you got other defensive linemen who are going to be there, and it's simply going to be a matter of play as hard as you can for your 6, 7 straight snaps. We'll come get you, and then you're going to come back. But you cannot not play as hard as you can. It's just the standard has been set.
I mean,
the standard's been set.
And when you're field level watching them play, they play
violent.
defense at a different clip.
Yeah.
I just love watching the emotion here. And, Buck, you made reference to it. Disappointed night number 1. You see the tears.
With the 61st pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the LA Rams select Klare, tight end from Ohio State, baby.
All right, look, I was looking at your positional rankings. Second tight end for you, Buck. I just want to throw this out there. Kenyon Sadiq, That you could have had him yesterday.
Could have had him, but now who's to say that Max Klare is not better? I'm gonna say this.
Look at you, Mr. Positivity.
How many seats do they have in that tight end room? They have Davison, they got Kobe Parkinson, they got like 50 other dudes. Tyler Higbee, then you go and get Max Klare. Now, I will say this. I am a huge fan of Max Klare because he is a pass-catching specialist. Soft hands, natural when it comes to plucking. You're going to see him in these Ohio State highlights, but you go back to the Purdue days, he is finding a way to consistently get open and get it done. When I think about what the Rams did, because remember, they opened up a can of worms with 13 personnel.
A ton of that.
One receiver, 3 wide, 3 tight ends on the field. Look for them to just expand it. I mean, who knows how many guys they can put on the field now with all these tight ends they have in the room.
Yeah, he was just much more productive at Purdue, and it's tough when you've got Jeremiah Smith and you've got Carnell Tate. I mean,
they eat up all the touches.
With the 62nd pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Buffalo Bills select
David Igbinosun, DB, Ohio State.
You want to talk the pick, or you got a bone to pick here, Buck?
No. We'll talk the pick. I mean, I'm just.
Was there a problem with the announcer?
Guys over here need to figure out who they do their squad.
I mean, Puz Leslie was a Jaguar, wasn't he?
Look, up there, we'll leave Paz alone, but we'll say the Ohio State standout is exactly what the Buffalo Bills tend to want on the outside. This is a guy that is tall, rangy, he's feisty, really good tackler on the perimeter. And when we think about the game, it is about being able to make tackles in space. Jim Liner taking over. They're going to mix in some zone and some man, so you got to have great eyes. I had down bump and run, Tampa 2 corner, question the speed, and the back pedal because he's a bit of a guesser, but they can clean.
The 87th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, Miami Dolphins select Will Kacmarek, tight end, Ohio State.
Someone explained this to me. We kept saying that this was not a great tight end class. We saw 1 in the first round, 7 today, guys.
See, but I don't know why that was ever a thought. I like the tight ends.
Yeah, it's a deep tight end class.
I like the tight ends, and we haven't even got to some Drew Warrior, Dalton Bentley. There's some other tight ends that are still hanging out there, but Kacmarek, another guy. We talk about Ohio State having 2 guys that have been drafted on day 2. Just a plethora, just a wealth of riches in terms of being able to find these guys down the middle. He can work down the middle, catch it down the seam. Just another talented player. Tight end class standing up.
Well, back here on Draft Center, it's presented by FedEx, taking a look at Lorenzo Styles, another player from Ohio State taking off the board. He's heading down to New Orleans.
Man, clang-a-lang-a-lang, boy. I know the Styles family better get a good accountant, boy, at taxes. Go hit him up. But Styles, man, just the speed, explosiveness. Everyone's going to talk about the combine, but being able to make that conversion from wide receiver to defensive back, not only would give him a chance to make his way as a position player, but just think about from a special team standpoint, the advantages he has been a two-way player. Nice pick, man. The Styles family should be proud. 2 sons, same draft, both drafted. Nice.
Washington for Sonny. Lorenzo goes to. There they are, right there.
Look at these dudes.
So Lorenzo is older than Sonny, right? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's probably the last picture where Lorenzo was bigger than Sonny.
Yeah.
Yep, it was.
Right. Yep, right on cue. Right on cue.
Who was it who said, I can't remember if it was you, Bucky, it sounds like something you would have said, that when the testing jumped off and everyone was so blown away, and there was somebody, and this sounds like something Bucky would say, was they've been in a backyard with a parachute on their back since they were 5,
from
probably.
the jump. Bro, Dad, look at Dad. Dad's in shape. Dad got them doing 100 jumping jacks right as soon as they started walking.
And 254.
With the 214th pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Indianapolis Colts select Kaden Curry, defensive end, Ohio State.
You just avoided a steak dinner.
I know. I was just looking
very
at
lucky.
that.
I was expecting a different player.
There's a part of me that's asking, do I get a dinner now? What's going on?
I was very careful how I worded that. I made a prediction. I was wrong. Kaden Curry, Ohio State, was a productive end. The traits are just okay, kind of short-armed. Came over, let's see, I believe he was also a transfer portal player. Was he just on the bench? I think he was
just on the bench, actually. Yeah.
Okay, but he was very active, kind of in that Jack Sawyer mode.
Yeah.
Was not the same player as Jack Sawyer, but when he had his opportunities, He plays really, really hard. If you don't finish him, take the foot off the gas at all, he ramps up secondary effort as a rusher and gets into the pocket. You'll see a lot of these reps are coming from the interior. That's one of the areas where he had some success, was rushing in the interior. And I know the Indianapolis Colts don't mind taking guys like Tyquan Lewis from Ohio State and taking him from defensive end and really using him a lot to rush on the interior. So it wouldn't shock me if Caden Curry ended up getting some reps inside in camp to see how he does as an interior rusher on sub packages.
9th in the country in sacks. He had 11 of those. And if we're tallying things up, 10 now. First to double digits. Ohio State's Curry now is the 10th
every year.
At some point today.
We do.
With the 231st pick in the 2026 NFL Draft, the Atlanta Falcons select Ethan Onianwa, tackle, Ohio State.
Came over from Rice. He was a very heralded transfer. A lot of people were fighting for him, and then Onianwa really didn't get as much playing time over at Ohio State, but the traits are there, the potential is there, and this is where you start taking swings on tackles that have some traits and some ability, and you say, we really, all we need to do is see just enough, Bucky, just enough to draft you, get control so no one else can get you as a priority free agent, and let's give you a spin, see what happens. Maybe we throw you on a practice squad.
I mean, that's where we're at right now. The 7th round is about making sure these guys you might as well consider what we call priority free agents. These are guys that we want to bring into camp, so we're willing to expend a draft pick to do it. This gives him an opportunity not only to come into the building with a little bit of a head start on some of the other guys, but it is clearly our intention to give him a shot to not only make the team, but to be on the practice squad if it doesn't go that way.